Robbie, I am so excited to have you. We've been planning this for such a long time. You and I have chatted before on your podcast, but this is really different, right? And I wanted to make sure you are here and you're present because we had so many affiliates that, asked us to have you and have people that could help them with the Facebook questions. So, hi, Robbie.
Hey, Anna, what's going on? Hey, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, literally, I know you have thousands of people registered for this event, which is super cool. And that just goes to show that, you guys are doing some really, really amazing things at MaxWeb. So I'm excited to be here. And, any information I can share, I'm an open book. So, anything that I can do to share and help people, have success online, I'm all for it because, being online and having success, it's changed my life forever, So if I can help more people do that and change their lives, then I'm all for it. So excited to be here.
Amazing. I love it. So, obviously everyone knows who you are and, most of the people watching, they already have heard, your name for sure or Commission Hero, but having, let's pretend there's a small chance some of the people don't know who you are. Just in a nutshell, tell us who you are, what do you do?
Yeah, good question. So pretty much, I'm Robbie, and basically, 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, I was just a gym owner, right? I had no online business. I didn't know anything about online. I didn't know anything about affiliate marketing, and but I wanted to have success. Like I wanted to have success. I just didn't know how, right? And so my gym was really struggling. I just wanted to figure out what I needed to do to have more success, and so. I discovered affiliate marketing through a couple masterminds that I ended up joining, and through that I was able to have a little bit of success at first, and then what happened was I ended up getting into Facebook ads. It was kind of my magic power, and I did Facebook ads and promoted affiliate offers, and I got so good at it I started making hundreds per day, and then I made thousands per day, and then it became 10,000 per day, and then as much as 50, 60,000 in a day, and so I got really, really good at it, and that's literally changed my life forever. And honestly, Anna, I'm so thankful that I learned. First of all, got out of my comfort zone. Learned how to do it, and just made it happen because I still own my gym, but here in the U.S., like obviously 2020 has been a pretty crazy year, and so my gym was closed for basically 5 months. And so if I was just still a gym owner, I wouldn't be as happy as I am right now because. Being just having a regular business at this time is tough, and so I'm so thankful that I learned how to have success online, and honestly and truly, I think that for anyone that's, listening, that's either starting out or, wondering if online is, saturated or if you still have success, absolutely you can. I mean, I've had more success this year online than ever before. So yeah, so that's kind of me in a nutshell. And obviously me and Anna, we've known each other for quite a while now, and Anna's a rock star. She's doing some amazing things with her company, and so I'm excited to be here. So that's kind of a little bit about me and how I got started. And literally, if I can do it, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I love that, and we should focus on that for a little bit.
Sure.
Just pretend some of the people watching, they got into affiliate marketing maybe because it's that time, right? You did a good job presenting this year for the reality that it is, right? It's tough out there for a lot of people that have physical jobs, people that have lost their jobs. So now is the time when maybe a lot of the people watching have been considering really being serious about affiliate marketing.
Yes.
So, as plainly as possible, what would you advise be? Where should I start, right? I'm reading about it. I'm pretending I'm a new affiliate. My question is, where do I start?
Yeah, first of all, I think the main thing to start with is find a high converting offer. I think that's one of the big things. I think that, I see so many people that get caught up in like the little things that don't matter, right? Of like, well, what's the refund rate on this? Or what's the blah, blah, blah on that? It's like, is the offer converting? Is it a top offer? Is it on Anna's platform? And is it like one of the top 10? Awesome. If it's one of the top 10, focus on it, right? Like you don't have to look for these offers that are just, nobody's promoting. Focus on the ones that is working and just dial in on that. The other thing I was saying too is I personally focus on the big categories, the big niches, right? So I always focus on like health, wealth or relationship offers. And the reason why is because I think they're recession proof essentially, right? Like it's, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It doesn't matter if the economy's up or down. Like at the end of the day, like even if someone is struggling, like they still want to lose weight, they still want to make more money, and they still want to like find that significant other, right? So no matter what's going on in the economy. So if you can focus on those offers, you can have a lot of success no matter what's going on. And they're huge markets, right? So there's so much room to scale and make a lot of money with. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I completely agree. One of the big advices I always have for new affiliates is make sure the account manager is your best friend.
Yes.
Because if they give you a good offer, if they give you an offer that's going to convert, yep, chances are you're going to be successful, right? So I agree. Choosing the right offer instead of worrying about the EPC and conversion rate, which are important, but they could be very different for Facebook traffic in comparison to native or email. So
sure.
I'm with you. All right.
Yeah.
So what about for someone that has been doing, let's say, search or blogs and now has some money to invest in Facebook? What do you think would be the best way for them to get started? And I mean, it's no secret, you have a really cool course. Should they invest in that right from the beginning?
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
I want to say it.
I want to say yes. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, here's the thing, right? So, whether or not you want to invest in commission here, that's up to you. Obviously, for me personally, I've learned over the years that, like, I want to buy speed, right? I want to learn from somebody that's already been there. So, why reinvent the wheel myself when the wheel's been invented years ago? But having said that, like, honestly and truly, when it comes to Facebook, I personally love Facebook as the advertising platform. Like, I don't do any YouTube, I don't do any Google, I don't do any SEO stuff. I've been focused on Facebook for the last 6 years, right? And so, obviously people get worried, they shut your accounts down, or they're always like, there's always issues and problems. And it's like, the thing is, like, you're always going to have issues and problems, like with anything you do in life, right? Like, if you don't have problems, then you're dead. Like, only dead people don't have problems, right? So if you have problems, that's great. It means you're alive. And so, for me personally, though, I think Facebook, though, is still the best platform out there, because at the end of the day, everybody's on the platform. Americans, the average American spends 58 minutes per day on Facebook actively. So the more time you spend on a platform, the more the platform knows about you, which is amazing if you're a marketer, because now it makes it so easy to take the product you're promoting from Anna's company and put it in front of people on Facebook, right? And so that's really what it comes down to. So that's why, for me personally, I like Facebook. Also, I think Facebook, honestly and truly, is one of the best platforms. If you don't have a big budget, you can still have a lot of success with a low budget, right? Like, a lot of my students in my Commission Hero course, they'll start at $20 a day. And they get sales, and they basically, roll that into, scaling up their budget more and more. I've had some students go from like $20 a day spending, to making like $1,000 a day or more in 30 days. So it's, really whereas like if you're to do like native advertising or, other things, like you have to have a big starting budget just to test out and hope it works. So for me, that's why I think Facebook, even though it has, obviously it's ups and downs sometimes, but overall, I still think it's the best platform to advertise on. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. And I want to touch base for a bit on the budget, right?
Yep.
So you mentioned $20. Would you say that's the minimum when someone gets started of what they should be spending every day if they're serious about this?
Yeah, I think so. At least $20, at least. I think if you got more, great. I mean, go for it. But I think there's a lot of people that will start at or want to start like $5, right? Like, they have like $1 million dreams on like a 2-cent budget. And it's like, you have to spend money to make money at the end of the day, right? Like, when we're doing traffic and stuff, you have to spend money to make money. That's why I think $20 is like a, kind of a minimum to start at. If you got more, if you got $30 to $50, even better, because the other thing that's important to remember too is I'm a big believer in failing fast. So, if I'm spending just $5 a day, like, it's going to take you 4 days to spend that $20, right? And in those 4 days, you may find something that works, but most of the time, you're not going to find something that works at all, right? You just wasted 4 days. So for me, I'd rather spend $20 up front, like, know right away, oh, it didn't work? Well, that's fine. At least I didn't waste any time on this anymore. I can focus on what is going to work, So that's kind of my advice. But I think $20 a day is a good start, and then go from there. Yeah.
That's awesome. I like that. We get this question a lot, right? So,
Yeah.
Facebook is not our expertise. That's why I'm chatting with you. But it's good to remember that there are 20
Yeah.
writing it out here. All
Yeah.
right. So about the budget. How about offers? How many offers should an affiliate start with?
One offer, one offer. Yep, one offer. Yeah, this is another big mistake I see new affiliates making. I also see like veteran affiliates making as well. And the thing that most people think, like in our minds, you think in order to make more money, I have to promote more things, right? And that is not the case online, right? Like when I became like a top affiliate, in most cases, I only promoted one offer at a time. And so, it's an offer. That's why I focus on like, the three big categories: health, wealth, relationship, because, with one offer, you can scale that thing up, to making tens of thousands of dollars per day for a long time. And so you don't have to go from one offer to another offer. And, I think it's just, we kind of get that shiny object syndrome sometime too. But guys, like I think less is more online. Focus on one offer. Like just focus on it, dial it in. And this is the other thing too, Anna, I see people make mistake with is a lot of people will say, oh, like is this offer going to convert or is it going to work? And that's why I always say, like, just focus on the top 10 offers on the platform. Like if it's a top 10 offer, you don't have to worry about whether or not it converts. It converts. So you just have to dial in. That's it. So that would be my advice. Stick to one offer, scale it up, and just crush it. That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. What about some really cool specific things? Let's say you have a health campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen all sorts of advertising nowadays. Do you think it's good for them to start with a quiz, with their own pre-lander, with some images? What do you think, right now in 2020, what's the healthiest way to approach an offer?
Yeah, great question. So the thing you need to do is, first of all, you need to work backwards, right? So I see a lot of people make the mistake of they'll set up their ads and then they'll get they'll get their ads kind of created in the copy, then they'll build their landing page, and then they decide what offer they want to promote. And that's crazy to me, because you should be doing the opposite, right? You should be looking at the offer, and as boring as it is, you should watch that VSL, okay? And the VSLs are boring, but they work. And what I would do is I take my note, pen and paper, and I just literally take down as many notes as I can from the VSL. Like, what's the hook? What's the pain points? What's the benefits? Who is this speaking to, And what I do is I have that whole note, kind of written down, and then from there, I'll go to my landing page, right? My landing page, typically it'll be a quiz, right? But now what I'll do is I'll take the headline, the pain points, the hook, all that stuff, and I'll build it into my landing page and my questions, right? Then the last step is building out my ad copy and my images, right? So, and that's important because now by working backwards, when someone goes and sees it, like a potential buyer, like it's all going to make sense. It's all going to be congruent. I see a lot of people make the mistake of like their ad and their landing page makes sense, but they wonder why they're not getting any sales. And the reason why is, the experience from the ad to the landing page makes sense, but when they get to the offer, the person's like, what is this? I wasn't expecting this. So that's why it's so important to work backwards, because you'll have so much more success. Everything will be congruent. And then by the time they get to the VSL, they're primed and ready to buy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you up till this day, do you still write your own copy? Even on Facebook, I know the copy is small, having like a headline or something like that. Do you still write it?
Yeah, I still do. I still write my own copy. I think it's important. I think that's one skill. Like, you don't really want to outsource too much, because if you can learn copy, you can pretty much print your own ticket to success. I think that copy is a huge thing you need to learn. And so, when it comes to copy too, I think that's another thing that people make a lot of mistakes with, is they try to, just write copy like it's like very salesy and very like, especially for ad copy, and you don't want to do that. Like, the main thing is like pique curiosity and keep it super conversational. That's the big thing. Like, I always tell my students to use like the party trick. So if I was at a party, if me and Anna were at a party and I was talking about a product, I wouldn't use scientific terms. I wouldn't say, oh, it's going to boost your metabolism by 49%. And I mean, like if I said that at a party, like Anna would run the other way. Like, she wouldn't want to talk to me, right? She's like, well, who's that weirdo, But if I were to be like, oh my God, I've just been trying this program for a while. Like, I tried the gym, I tried this other stuff. I wasn't having success, but man, this thing is working great. Like, Anna, you got to try it, Like, that's a little bit more, that's normal, right? That's more casual. And so you have to have that type of language, because Facebook is a social platform, right? Nobody goes onto Facebook to buy stuff, and nobody wakes up in the morning and says, oh, geez, I need to lose weight. Like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on Facebook and buy a weight loss program. Nobody does that, right? But people do buy a lot of stuff on Facebook. So you have to make sure just your copy is very native to the platform, and that's gonna make a lot more success in the long run. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I asked because I completely agree. And, earlier in today's conference, we had Heath who was telling people about content, right, and copywriting skills. And it's no secret that I personally think that's extremely important. Of course, besides having a good offer and choosing your platform, even a headline can make or break an offer.
For
so
sure.
I'm really glad you said that, and to make sure you put thought into what you write there. Because people, we used to have a lot of customers that were very click happy, but I think the customers are getting more educated as to what they purchase.
For sure.
So, that's actually another thing that, one of the affiliates wanted to make sure. I see him here asking, he said, it's 2020. Do you feel like a lot of people are still purchasing on Facebook?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, more now than ever. I think that, I'll give you a perfect example. So, last year in 2019, which seems like so long ago, but in 2019, I think, I did a certain amount as an affiliate. And this year, as we're reporting this, basically a little over halfway through the year right now, I've already doubled what I did last year as an affiliate. And I'm more than likely will probably, 4 to 5 times what I do by the end of the year. So yeah, absolutely. And the reason why is simple, because everybody's going online right now. Everything, the world has changed, and so, even Harvard University just announced a couple weeks ago that they're going to be, for 2021, fully online. All their classes are online. So nothing in person, and they're charging full tuition, but which is crazy. So, so everyone's going online right now. I think that's just the big trend. People are spending more time on places like Facebook and everything. And so, with that, the more time someone spends online, the more opportunities they're going to buy something. So yeah, absolutely. Now more than ever is a perfect time to do some stuff. And the other thing, Anna, I would say as well, is I've also noticed that the cost of advertising on places like Facebook has gone down quite a bit right now. And the reason why is that, in the news recently, there's been a lot of big brands that have kind of pulled their advertising budget outside of Facebook for various reasons, and which is great for us as the small affiliates, the small fish here, because we can now advertise. Our money goes a lot further, and I've been finding Facebook's been allowing a little bit more stuff too, just because they're trying to make up that revenue. So yeah, so absolutely, 2020 is still a great time to get started and have success. And honestly, so many of my students who had never had an online business, they're doing amazing stuff right now. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. And you made a really good point on some of the costs being lower for us as performance marketing, because those big companies that we were fighting with, think about just the travel industry, right? They don't have to be aggressive about their Facebook promotions. And we have seen that as well with the cost being way more decent this year. So I agree. Another question, do you use any specific tools, for tracking, for content, for picture? As an example, for picture, we use Unsplash, which is, we get 1 million free pictures a month, so they're not watermarked or anything, so we use that. And then for content, for headlines, we use CoSchedule Headline Analyzer. So stuff like that. Do you use anything like that or not really?
No, not really. I'm pretty simple. I'm pretty simple. So basically, for my landing pages, I just use ClickFunnels for my stuff, and then I use for tracking. We just have I have a custom little code that we use, a little JavaScript code, and then because I find with third-party tracking tools, sometimes that can flag on Facebook because of the redirects, and so I try to keep it. I try to keep it as simple as possible. That's one thing I've kind of learned over the years is the more complicated you make something, the less success you have. It's the simpler you keep things, even analyzing data, I keep it so simple. My students are really, you don't pay attention to this number? No. I'm am I making money? Cool. Keep doing it. Am I not? I got to make a change. That's what I do. But yeah, as far as tools go, just ClickFunnels and a little bit of tracking code. And then as far as images and stuff, I just outsource that. That I outsource. I'm not very, not very designer savvy, but I just go on Fiverr, 10, $20 an image, and that's it. Yeah.
It's amazing. So just from that, I learned two super awesome things, which I'm sure people watching are going to be excited about. Number one, you can keep it very simple and still be crazy, successful the way Robbie is. You don't need all those tools, right? Sometimes you get so overwhelmed with all the tracking tools out there, all the, copywriting tools out there. So you feel like to be successful, you need to pay for all of them. And even if it's $10 a month or $20 a month, when you're looking at 20 different tools, it can get overwhelming. So it's amazing for you to just say, right, we didn't plan this. Robbie is being honest right now. He's keeping things simple, right? And the second thing, if it's something that you are not good at or not, you don't feel like it's your thing, it's so cool to outsource, right? We do it as well. How you said, go on Fiverr, pay someone that money. And I think those two things combined are a big key to success, right? I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that so many people kind of, they get in their own way where they're just like, well, I'm not a good artist, or like, oh, I don't know how to build a website, or, good, you don't have to, just outsource it. And that's not an excuse for you not being successful, right? Like it's, I think that's super, super important. Like you can outsource stuff. You can, find, like for me, I try to find people that are better than me at some things, so that's the other thing is like, just don't be afraid to get some good people around you. But once again, like, as an affiliate, you can be a one-man show or one-woman show and just crush it still. Like you don't have to have a huge team to make a lot of money. When I did, when I had my first 7-figure year as an affiliate, like I was pretty much a one-man show, that was it. So, now I have a little bit of a team behind me, but there's, don't let yourself get in the way of success. That's the main thing.
That's awesome. I've got to say this, every time I chat with you, I love your energy, and specifically, I love how humble you are about everything, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
You are so successful. You made so much money, and you're here telling us, just keep things simple. You don't need a lot of people. That's impressive, and it's really, I think, the people watching that are probably getting started, right? They have a bit of success. It's inspiring to see that, it's really not that hard. Probably, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you do need to work really hard, especially in the first year.
For sure.
Do you recall how long you had to work, or especially in the first year?
Yeah, I think, like I tell people, like I'm a 5 or 6 year overnight success. And I think that, the thing is you have to be consistent, right? Like, at the end of the day, like I love this expression. And the expression is that, people overestimate where they're going to be in 1 year, right? But they underestimate where they're going to be in 5 years, right? I think so many people, they want success right away, but it takes time, it takes work, it takes effort. Like, the thought process of like, you're going to be on a beach somewhere with your laptop, just kicking back and relaxing. It's not true. Like it's not going to happen. Like you got to put the work in. Everything takes work and time and effort, and you have to be consistent. You have to take one foot in front of the other every single day. You got to do something, and that's going to compound on itself. I see so many people too, Anna, that like, they let motivation determine their success. Like motivation has nothing to do with your success. Like, I'm, every single day I'm not motivated. Like, when I wake up in the morning every single day, like I'm not motivated. I'm not pumped to brush my teeth, right? Like I'm not like, yes, I'm going to brush my teeth. But guess what? Every single day I brush my teeth, right? Like it's creating habits, and over time it makes a big difference. And so, yeah, my first year was tough, but you gotta just get through it. You gotta take your licks and just make it happen, because once you get past that first year, or that first breakthrough, then it gets easier, right? Like afterwards it gets easier. Like now it's like, I always tell my students, like your first $1,000 day is like the hardest thing to get, right? Like once you get that first $1,000 day, then everything else is so much easier. And the reason why it's easier is because you're not making silly mistakes anymore. Like you're not getting in your own way. Like you're smarter, you know what to do. So yeah, I think there's a lot of lessons there. And I think that a lot of people just need to stick with it. Like don't wimp out, just keep at it. Like just keep going towards it. If you want to be successful, just be successful. Don't make excuses, just do it,
That's awesome. So two things. You should make a banner out of this. You said this. I'm just thinking of the words.
Sure.
Saying discipline over motivation.
Yes.
I love that. If you're disciplined, that's going to be the key and amount to so much more. So I really love that. And number two was no excuses, which, I mean, come on, especially with the younger generation. I think every time you hear so many excuses, and, you know, it's really no room for that. And you said about it being hard to get to $1,000 a day. For your students, the people that are learning how to do Facebook, how long do you usually tell them to spend every day in front of the computer, you know, until they get to that 1K? How many hours a day?
Yeah, I mean, I tell people at least an hour or two a day. But once again, I just tell them, like, if you can't do it, do 20 minutes. I don't care how long. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Like, it's not a race. You're not competing against anybody else. Like, it's you versus you. Like, you know, some people are going to spend more time and they're going to just dive into it and spend all day with it. And that's great. Go for it. You know, some people are going to spend, you know, 20 minutes here and there. That's fine too. But the main thing is just every single day do something. Like, do something that can push you forward, because, you know, a year from now when you look back, you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe how far I came, you know? So yeah, so I think an hour or two is more than enough. I think that, you know, whether or not, you know, people make excuses. I don't have time, or, I got 2 kids or 3 kids. Like, the thing is, like, we all have the same amount of hours in the day. And there's people out there that have 4 kids, 5 kids. I even have one student that has 12 kids, and they're making time to be successful, right? So, you know, you make time for the things you want to make time for, and that's it. So just you know, no excuses once again.
I love that. Yeah. So right now, because we don't have, usually I always tell our affiliates and our partners how important conferences and going out there it is, right? But now, because it's not possible, do you have any groups or any forums, any stuff, you know, anything that you can tell affiliates, hey, this is a really good resource for you. This is a cool group. This is a cool, you know, forum or community that you're part of, and you can, you know, give people a good reference.
Oh, it's a tough one. That's a tough one. And I think, like, I mean, honestly, I'll give you a kind of a different answer. So I would say the thing that people should invest in is like a spy tool. I think a spy tool is way more beneficial than anything else. And the reason why is because you're going to be able to see what's actually working, right? You're going to see people that are actually running ads. You're going to see how they write their ads, how they write their landing pages, what offer they're promoting. You know, I think, you know, one of the things that I notice a lot with, like, you know, some Facebook groups and some other stuff is you get, like, most of the people that will post in a Facebook group, unfortunately, a lot of the ones aren't the ones that are having the success yet, right? Like, they're, you know, the quiet ones are in the background doing the work, right? Whereas the ones that they're posting, you know, they're kind of being like, oh, this doesn't work, or as, you know, so I try to avoid those. And I just keep my head down and work on it. You know, it's like I see so many people post like, oh, like, you can't run offers on Facebook anymore. You know, meanwhile, I've done, like, you know, $5 million this year. So, but it's, you know, so I think for me, I think a spy tool is super important, you know, because that's going to allow you to, you know, see what's working and model that success and study it, you know. I think that's what it's all about right there.
Yeah. That's amazing. You see, I really did not thought about this, and a good spy tool. I mean, we know they're important, especially for affiliates, but how you said, if we think about it, the really good affiliates are the ones that maybe don't post that much. Yeah. So, you know, seeing what they do maybe at times is more valuable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure. I mean, that's, you know, if an ad is running on Facebook and it's been running for a long time, like, you can assume they're making money with it, and study it and see why are they doing it this way. And you'll notice trends and you'll notice patterns, and it'll just help you have more success overall. Like, that's, you know, I wish I did that when I first started. Like, it took me a while to kind of figure that out, but, you know, that was a little tip that has helped me out a ton. It's just model success. You know, don't try to reinvent the wheel. The wheel's been invented thousands of years ago. You just gotta just do it. You know?
I love that so much. Yeah. So, you know, if you could go back in time and talk to Robbie that is just getting started, what would be your advice to him? Because you have many people that are just getting started. If you would see Robbie, you know, the Robbie that's just getting started, what would you tell him?
You know, I mean, honestly, like, I would probably tell him just to just keep doing what he's doing. I personally wouldn't change anything, because, you know, I think everything happens for a reason. I think, like, like I remember like, when I joined my mastermind a couple of years ago, like probably 5 years ago, and, email marketing was the big thing. So everybody had these huge email lists, and I had this product I put together, a digital product. It was a CrossFit product. And, I tried to get everyone to promote it, and nobody would promote it. And the reason why was because, my product was not a weight loss program. And so at the time I saw that as a big failure, because I'm not, no one wants to promote my product. Like, but then what happened was through that failure and through that, like realizing like, hey, I can't go email marketing, I figured out Facebook ads. And so, that was like really, I'm so glad that no one promoted my product, because it forced me to learn something else, so yeah, so I think that was a big moment for me too. Yeah. But for me, I would tell myself like, just keep doing what you're doing. And, I wish I could get to success a little faster sometimes, but sometimes everything happens for a reason.
That's amazing. You see, I didn't know, I had no idea that, through a failure, you figure out something that you like even more, and obviously you're so much better at.
Yeah. Yeah. and now the crazy thing is, Anna, is like the people that, wouldn't promote my product, like now they come to me asking advice for Facebook stuff. So it's funny how it comes around in full circle. Yeah.
That's incredible. And do you help them?
Sometimes, yeah.
You're so nice. Well, I do, but
yeah, sometimes.
It's kind of like, I forgive you, but I'll never forget.
Yeah, for the right price, I help them out. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
cool. Well, today, what would you say are some really cool and healthy habits that you have that you see are really helping your business?
Oh my gosh, healthy habit, like just in general, or okay, yeah. So, well, I'll tell you one thing for me is working out. I mean, for me, I've really, I know it obviously doesn't seem related to, online stuff, but it kind of is, so, I was, building up my affiliate business and building up Commission Hero. Like I was really focused on that, which meant I was not focused on the gym as much. And so, just recently I've really gotten back into it. I've dropped 15 pounds just by working out every single day, being consistent. Once again, like, whether I feel like it or not, I'm at the gym. Like, and I think that, that kind of trains you mentally. And I think that, when you're going for a run or you're doing a workout, like, and you want to quit, like you just keep pushing forward, and I think that your body and I think your mind, that translates to other things outside of fitness too, where it's like, if you want to quit, like with a project or putting something together, like, or running an offer, like you want to quit, like you don't, like you just keep pushing forward, and I think that's been a big habit for me. And, I think another thing that's been really good for me is working off of lists. So I'm a big, like a lot of times in the past, I used to like just, I'd get distracted. Like someone would call me or this email would come in and blah, blah, blah. Like now what I do is every single day I work off of a list. So the night before, I'll write down my top 5 or 10 things I need to get done for the day. And that's it. I don't deviate from it. I don't go off of anything else. Someone calls me unexpectedly, I don't answer it. I stick to the list, I stick to my schedule. And so that's been a big thing for me, because, by doing those 5 or 10 things every day, like by the time the month is over, I got a lot done, so those have been a couple things that really helped me out success wise. Yeah.
I love it. That's super cool. And people think always it's very complicated, and they always assume that successful people do a lot of crazy things every day, but
No.
it goes back to keeping things pretty simple and having discipline from what I think you're saying. That's
for sure.
Extremely important.
For sure. Yeah, and I think too, Anna, I think the other thing that I see a lot of people post, like, I see a lot of gurus, and I see a lot of people talking about like, oh, like in order to have success, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. And like, no, you don't have to do that. Like you wake up when you're able to wake up, and work when you're able to work. Like if you're a morning person, like, and that's your time and you're motivated, then do your stuff in the morning. Like if you're a night owl and you work till 2 and 3 in the morning, do that. Like that's, you just don't try to force, like, be something you're not. Just like, just work with your body and work with, how you are, and you'll have more success that way. For me, I'm not a morning person. I'll get up at 7:30, 8 a.m. like, and that's what I do. And then I'll go to the gym first, and then, I'll start my day like around 10:30 in the morning. And that's what I do. And that's how I have more success and more focused. And, I don't try to fight it. And I think that's important. Just like, however you are as a person, like just find your magic time and stick with it. Yeah.
Awesome. I really like that. And your energy is amazing. It's just beautiful. Just I know it's morning, but still your energy is
thank you, Anna.
I love that. Well, we had another question from an affiliate, and he said, we were talking earlier about successful offers, looking at the platform, seeing what converts best.
Yeah.
Should he maybe ask his account manager what is doing best for Facebook, or he should just pick an offer that is good overall?
I think you should ask both questions, right? So I think like you always want to ask like, hey, is this offer like overall, is it working, is it converting? Because if the answer is yes, then you can make it work for Facebook, right? You just have to make a couple tweaks to it. The second question will be, yeah, hey, is this working for Facebook as well? And they'll give you some insight into that at the same time. But for me, honestly, like I just want to know, is it working? Like, is it converting? And that's it. Like if that works, then I can make it work on Facebook, So yeah, I think that's important. Also, like I love what you said there about, staying in contact with your affiliate manager. That's important. I think a lot of people don't do that. I would say 99% of people don't do that. And, you got to realize, guys, that like affiliate managers, they're incentivized for you to be successful. So they're not going to hold anything back, or, they literally want you to be successful. So they're going to tell you everything. And so also too, the other reason to keep in mind is like, you want the inside scoop on like up and coming offers that other people haven't, mentioned yet, or they haven't, maybe they're not even on the platform quite yet. Like, that's important, because you want to get that first jump on those and make all your money before everyone else starts promoting it. So yeah, I would definitely continue to talk to an affiliate manager for sure.
That's amazing. So because I'm such a type A personality, I want to like quickly summarize some of the things we discussed in case we have some people just logging in now. So I know it's super important. You're a new affiliate, you're getting started, focus on what's doing best. Go at the, at the main platform page, no matter who you work with. Obviously you're working with us, but just go to the platform and look at the top 10 offers, right?
Yeah.
Pick the ones that convert best, because that's really gonna help you. Of course, in parallel, you should always check with your account managers what's doing best on Facebook, what is good overall, but that's super important.
Yeah.
The other really cool thing that you said, $20 is probably the minimum you should be spending, because you could be spending $5, but it will take you 4 or 5 days to figure out, is this offer for me? So that's a healthy budget, and then go and increase that. The other cool thing is that, it stayed with me, and actually I'll make a note for our media buyers to remember when they run on the campaigns, to always start with the offer. Don't pick amazing offers, amazing pictures, and amazing headlines, but you don't even know what offer you're going to promote. So that was a really good advice, to pick the offer and then build everything from there, right? And the other thing was, you said to keep things simple. You don't need millions of tools to help you. Try to do as simple as possible. And if you don't know something, it's always okay to outsource.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love it. You summed it up perfect.
Awesome. I really listen. I love talking to you. So.
Oh, thank you. Likewise.
Well, is there anything else you would want to tell affiliates? I won't keep you for longer. You're so valuable. But what else do you want to share with affiliates? Like some Robbie wisdom.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think well, I will say this. Like, I think right now is a really like a perfect storm for new affiliates, for old affiliates, maybe people that have stopped for a little bit and for whatever reason and want to come back into it. Like, as I mentioned, like 2020 has been like a perfect storm, because not only are more people online, like people are buying stuff online more than ever. People are at home more. People are online. That's an amazing thing. The cost of, as I mentioned before, Facebook costs are down quite a bit. And I think the other thing is, I've also noticed from an offer standpoint, there's been some really great offers that have come out over the last 6 months. And so, when I was, really, back when I first, started having my success, like I would be pumped when I had an offer that had like a, $40 average order value, maybe 45 at at 45, I'd be like, oh my God, this is incredible, And I had a ton of success at that. But now, like, there's so many offers out there that have like a, a $75, $80, $90 CPA, and like, which is double what I used to make for the same type of sale. And so, the margins are there. Like you can, there's so much more wiggle room to play with. Like, you can scale a lot more. You can be more aggressive with your scaling. So yeah, now is like an amazing time. And obviously, like with your network, the fact that, what is CPA is huge, because you don't have to deal with chargebacks or refunds or anything like that. So that's a huge, huge thing, because a lot of people make the mistake if they're advertising on other platform, they forget about the refund rates. Like they don't see the refunds come in until like 30 or 60 days. And then they're like, oh my God, I forgot to factor that into my numbers. So it makes it a little bit kind of messy. Whereas with your platform, obviously a CPA based, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So yeah, so I think that would be my advice to you, is look for, the best converting, highest paying offer. And if you do that, like, you're going to have a ton of success. Yeah.
Awesome. I agree. And you are wonderful. And I mean, we already, every time we work with new affiliates that, need a good course, we generally always refer them to you. In case they don't know that, can you just like tell us the website if they're watching this and if they're interested? Can you tell me the website?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, if you just go to commissionhero.com /training, you'll see a training on how I have had the success that I've had, and how I've, our students, we have coming up on 7,000 students in the course. And, we have a lot of people that are having amazing success. And, if you want to learn how to have success on Facebook promoting affiliate offers, I mean, there's no better way to learn than with Commission Hero, for sure.
I love it. And you guys watching this, even you're watching this conference, we always offer everything for free for our affiliates, but we always have tools to tell you. We know a lot of you are asking and want to pay for something, right? So we're just excited if there's an opportunity for you to choose something that's actually going to bring you value. Obviously, why not? Because a lot of people actually want to pick the best course for them. So, why not offer them that?
Absolutely. And honestly, obviously I'm biased, of course, but I've never seen a course or program that has as many success stories as we had. I mean, it's, we have people that literally have no experience whatsoever, and then within 30 days or so, like, they're making $1,000 a day or more, and that's super cool. So, and I love that, honestly, and that's my passion, is to help as many people as possible, because that's why I started my gym a long time ago, because, when I got in shape, I was like, I want to help other people get in shape. And now, being a top affiliate, with, online as an affiliate marketer, like, for me, it's like, I want to help as many people as possible, have that same type of freedom and success. And we're doing it,
I love that. And honestly, it's no secret. That's why you're here. That's why you and I get along so well, because we have the same mission, and generally we love helping people. And I think that's why you're here and you're so relevant all this year later, because you were never the type of guy to just, look for that overnight success to make a lot of money quick and then, bail. You're about consistency and working hard and keeping that consistency up to have a brand that you're proud of. And I've heard the stories, right? I've heard the success stories, and, I'm saying this is our conference. There's no reason for me to say this, except that it really is true. You hear the success stories of so many people that have went to your program and they ended up being super successful. So it's extremely cool. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's awesome. Cool.
Thank you so much. You're wonderful. I appreciate your time. I know how busy you are. So, you're awesome. Keep up the good work. Help as many affiliates as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Ann. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I brought a little bit of value today, and hopefully I fired some people up and inspired them to, get out on their own way and do something, right? Remember, no excuses, just make it happen. And like I said, if I can do it, geez, anybody can do it.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
Awesome. Good. That was good.